Okay guys, I'm gonna start the video on how I'm using the points that I calculate and I post in the room each week for us to use. So, and our group is called SPX Points. You can find us on Twitter, and then from there you'll find the Discord link to our group. So, I'm going to show you how I use the points. Today is Monday, so I gave all these points out on the weekend, for the group to use. And so I'm going to list them in order on Amazon. So we had 1706, actually I had 1707, and then the next one up from there was 1725, and then up from there was 1748, 1762, and then 1773, and then from 1773 up to 1798, and then up from there up to 1815. So this should theoretically be the range for Amazon this week. We are in what I deem a dip buyable market. So I would dip buy this stock at each level. So as you can see here, this morning Amazon dipped to the 1724 point. I'm sorry, 1725 point. It actually dipped a tad bit lower. So, $1,800 stock. You just, you got to give it a tad bit of variance, but it was above the 1707 point. So I kind of let it ride a little bit. We had a member that did the same thing. He bought it down here at the open and rode it all the way up to the next point. So from 1725 to 1748, he exited the trade around the 1748 point. So that's one example of using the points. And then the next one is Roku. So I gave these points on the weekend. As you can see here, so Monday, let's get to the open. So around in here, Roku opened around the 150, one point out. Let's see, I'll line them up here. So we have 142, 147.7, 151.4, and then 157, 161, 165.4, 170, 173, and then all the way up to 176. So those are the points I calculated this week for Roku. So if you go here to the open, let's see here, let me move my screen over a little bit. So you go here to the open, it opened, around this point, dipped down a little bit, right? Actually, this was pre-market. So opening candle, come all the way up here. It actually hit this 165 point before it kind of pulled back the rest of the day. But you could get that open in range. It didn't break this 165.4 point. So you could either exit the trade there or raise your stop and let it stop you out. This was 11 o'clock. So hour and a half, 2 hours into the market, and let it stop you out. You can be done for the day, or you can choose to try to ride this dip back up. I don't buy puts in this environment. You can. Nothing says you can't. It's just not how I was taught to trade. So I'm go on a longer term basis. I'll show you. This is the poor man's version of this math that's involved in here. You can use the linear regression. If you switch here and you look to the 1 year chart, you can see this is sloping up, right? Every one of these dips got bought and kept pushing it up. Longer term, your slope is still going up. So you know, I'm in a dip buy mode there, for this stock. So you know, until something changes, until a catalyst changes, or whatever, you know, you can clearly see that the long term trajectory, of Roku has been in an upward trend. So so I just look at the longer term upward trend on a daily 1 year chart, and it can tell me whether every one of these dips got bought. You know, and you can see that they kept pushing it. They just keep pushing it up. So I'm actually looking at a longer term basis for Roku to top out somewhere around 200. So, but that's just my longer term thesis on that. And so anyway, that's how I use the points. I post them every week for the members. We post them on the weekends so that they'll have them in advance, you know, for the week coming up. And then, you know, we kind of run it as more of a self-directed system, but you are given the points each week, you know, to use as you see fit. So anyway,